Tell me everything you know about the other Mitch.
Do you mean which Mitch?
There's me, then there's the evil me, and then a third one. That's the one I want to know about.
Which Mitch? Got it. He is an asshole. You, but worse.
Okay, what does he do? Why is he here?
Well, I
ran into him.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
That's why I know that he's here in this one. When we went back in time, I found him.
Yeah, well, he was trying to reanimate the dead Mitch, evil Mitch. Yeah, I tackled him into a portal, and then we got separated and we did those things where instead of traveling to the end, you flew out the sides of the wormhole, and that's why I thought he was you.
Wait, WHICH or WITCH?
TCH. He's like mad warlock.
The fuck, man?
Was that real?
What's real in this place, man? Jerry, you would remember that this is something that did happen. Ben was beaten up frequently, and it wasn't until really Jerry came on the scene full time that stopped. But before that, it was always Mitch who had Ben's back. We got to get out of this place, man. Fuck this place. You never should come back here.
I know, but we gotta finish this. Let's get the others. Let's go.
Guys, on the way to the towers, we need to stop by my house. 1, my dad's workshop probably has some useful stuff. 2, I'm a little bit bugged out about my kid.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, what?
What?
Excuse me?
You guys asleep when that happened?
What are you? I'm sorry. When in between the time that we left Vegas and here, you had a child?
On the phone, it was a long distance relationship.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think it's a trick, but nevertheless, it's probably worth checking out. I don't know. But again, my dad's workshop there. Maybe there's something we could use. Secret files. I don't know.
As you begin to walk, you realize that the main street seems to be in a slice. If these different time, season, era, periods are distinct locales, Main Street seems to be in its own. And as you're moving north, things are just in flux. Just off of Main Street, you can see where the old cathedral that again burned down in that same fire in '59 is standing. It seems like there's organ music coming from inside of it. The doors are open. It's inviting. It seems, at least in its area, not to be as cold as what you feel here. Otherwise, the doors wouldn't be open. There's a lot of things that just don't make sense because of proximity, because you feel one way, but the rest of the town's behaving in a different way. And as you round the corner and take the street on that dog leg that heads up towards the Butts' house, and you're going through Garrett proper, whether your eyes are drawn there or not, or you do so deliberately, you all look towards the left of where the paperback exchange is, and you see it. It is standing. It is very dark, and it is boarded up. You walk through, but you don't see a barrier. You don't see George. You don't see Shannon. In the longer kind of unkept grass, you don't see that anybody has passed this way. You don't see footfalls. Everything back here seems untouched.
Guys, they disappeared.
I know.
What?
No, like I'm on the other side of the barrier and I don't see them. They're gone.
And when you look around, Mitch, in this backyard, you can see that the French doors right beside the hot tub are blasted out into the yard. There is glass everywhere, and what looks like, well, let's just say there's staining all over the decking of the porch. Bob, when you look up at the house and you can hear something, it's a faint sound, and it almost seems like it's building, like it's getting louder and it's getting louder. And nobody else seems to be reacting to it, this increasing audio, this increasing volume that you hear. And as you watch, the glass on the ground outside gets pulled back into the frame of the French doors. The doors close suddenly, and then they smash open, and you see the body of Shannon Locke come flying out and crash in front of you, do a barrel roll, and smash into the shed. And then everything is calm like it was before. But there's something in the house, and it's getting louder, Rob. Rob, as you move forward and you look at the shed itself seems completely intact. And you hear a sound getting louder and louder. And as you turn and look, now you're positioned just in front of the shed, you see the glass pull back into the French doors. And this time, on the other side of the glass, you see a colorful splash of rainbow hues, and you see Shannon get blasted out through the French doors again. She is covered in cut and blood. You see no gun in her hand as she whisks right past you. You can actually smell the blood as she smashes into the shed. And you can feel the blood on your face, Shannon's blood. It is still warm. And Jerry and Mitch, when you turn and look at Rob's face, the right side is covered in blood.
So part of my past is like, I think my mom and I died and we got pulled into Garrett from my timeline.
So you think that you're not here yet, technically?
Right.
Okay. Then where would your kid be if your kid's even here in this moment?
He might not be. This shit's tricky. I don't know.
You would see that there's no movement coming from inside the tent, no light, but there is a flap for entrance. And there's a little sign outside that's hand-drawn on a piece of cardboard, and it says, "The Castle of Aaron."
Shit, that's a problem.
Problem?
It's starting to feel very real.
George, as you slowly pull the flap open on the tent, you look around in the inside, the dimly lit, and as you look in, you see that there are empty packages of Pop-Tarts. You can see there are juice boxes that have been emptied and kind of stacked in almost like a pyramid type of formation. And there is a little bed in there with a pillow, and several of the stuffed animals from your toy chest are arrayed in a different position. But each of the stuffed animals are holding what look like cardboard spears and cardboard swords. One of the teddy bears actually has a shield and a little bit of a helmet, and he seems to be sitting in front like he's the chief guard of the Castle of Aaron. As all of this kind of hits for a moment, behind you, you hear, "Dad, no!" And as you look, you see a small figure that bears a strong resemblance to what you yourself looked like in the pictures of your youth. Looking wide-eyed. Shannon, as George looks back at his son Aaron, you see the red and white of the fort top begin to move upwards, and it splits away, and you see beneath it this rainbow-hued clown. And as he smiles and leaps, he hits you, and you go flying back through the air, through the French doors. And Rob, you see Shannon burst from the inside of the house and crash into the shed behind you. And as you turn and look, the timelines meshing together, you see your old buddy Pennywise. And his smile splits his face to his ears, and he screams in a voice all too familiar to Mitch, "Finally!"
Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back. This is not the cursed Scottish play. This is, in fact, Atari Midnight. We are here for episode 7. You've got mail. And it could be the last episode of Atari Midnight. We're not confident. That being said, if you like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by joining us over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. While you're down there, click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, you will see a bar in the bottom right-hand corner. That is the Maggie/Michigan bar. If you would like to tip on that bar, two things happen. One, every single dollar in that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces you see here before you. And two, if you include the hashtag Maggie or the hashtag Michigan, it will fill one of those two bars. If a Maggie gets filled at $60 a pop, then a good thing can happen, or we can don't do that. Don't encourage them. A good thing will happen, and we might live. However, if you put a Michigan in there, and we might die. Anyway, over to you, Greg.
Hey everybody, it's time to get back into Atari Midnight as we take a Tales from the Loop or Things from the Flood from Free League. I'm not going to do too much of a recap here because we have a long way to go and a short time to get there as we are back in the saddle. But I'm going to ask each of my players the following question. As we left off and at the end of our very last episode, none other than it-inspired Pennywise the Clown had appeared from their past to presumably wreak havoc upon the Autobots as their group descended upon the home of George Butts. As all of this transpired, none other than Shannon Locke, someone that the Nothing had claimed was the one that he feared the most, came flying out of some French doors and smashed into a shed. The first attack and first successful landing of a blow from Pennywise to one of our fabled heroes. But friends, I'm going to go around and ask each one of these players who they'll be playing and basically the state of mind of their character as it pertains to this moment, the revelation that one of their greatest enemies has reemerged in front of them. But the other thing I want them to be thinking about is this: with the exception of Shannon, sorry, Meta, everybody else will have one action to take before all hell breaks loose. So let's start with our host, Mike. Who are you playing, and what's the mindset of good old Mitch, best friend to none other than Pennywise?
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm here too. I am playing Mitch. I don't know. He's doing his best. On multiple fronts. He is. I think Mitch is singled out in this scene right here. Mitch is not afraid. A little shocked to see Shannon fly, was not on the bingo card, but not shocked or terrified or any sort of negative emotion to see Pennywise. In fact, maybe a little relieved.
Interesting. That's probably the first time that emotion was evoked by this entity. Let's jump over to Rhino. Rhino, who are you going to be playing, bud?
So I'm playing George Butts. As far as your question goes, I think it's an immediate fight response seeing Pennywise. Clowns are disgusting. And there's a kid involved here, so we got to, allegedly my son, we'll see. We need to get Maury on the case here, but I think we're going to go straight into just guns out, like we're going.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's drop down to Bitters. Same questions, buddy.
I'm Bitters. I'll be playing Jerry Baker, and Jerry's reliving his glory days and fighting evil and weirdness alongside his best friends that probably haven't known he existed for about 10 years. So, it's a good time to be Jerry.
So Jerry's feeling above average, like positive right now?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Is that in contrast to the way he's felt over the past 10 years?
Yeah,
like,
very much.
Oh, so if you're ranking the last decade, including playing like Lollapalooza with the band that was a cover for on Rolling Stone, this ranks higher than something like that? Just to put it into perspective?
For Jerry, it really does.
Fantastic. That is a nice little insight. Thank you, my friend. Let us jump over to Frags. Frags, same questions.
Hey, I'm Frags. I'm playing Rob. Seeing Pennywise, his digit is gonna throb, and bring back memories of not so good times with the old P-dubs. He could also probably build a house with the amount of bricks he is shooting right now.
Fantastic. Okay, throbbing digit aside, last but certainly not least, Meta, same questions.
Shannon, I'm Meta. I play Shannon. I'm trying not to look at the screen because you guys laughing is distracting me. And Shannon, to be honest, guys, Shannon's never actually been face to face with Pennywise, so this is more of like a who the F just threw me out of a bunch of doors and into a shed. So it's going to be kind of one of those, oh, okay, you want to fight, let's go situation for Shannon, assuming she's not knocked out cold. And then also because she was kind of taking the lead of Butts when they were going into this house looking for his potential son, Shannon's definitely going to be in more of a protector mode because of that. Like, that's the mission. That was the point. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Okay, first things, a couple mechanical things we need to go over right now. Right now, a rundown of the current conditions, everybody. So conditions, these do not provide a negative modifier to the rolls that are going out. It's slightly homebrew variation from the Free League system. Right now, Ben has 0 conditions, George has 1, Jerry 1, Mitch 2, Rob 1, and Shannon to be determined. 1 on the board, but we'll see what happens as soon as the results of this attack are realized. But a couple things, all the Michigans and Maggies prior to this had been realized, but we do have a new arrival in a form of a Maggie. So Autobots, keep that in mind, that you have something that you can pull from should you need, or you can remind me if you would like to evoke it if something truly terrible happens, or you would like to potentially see what the Maggie could do for you. If not, once again, those can be used to help remove conditions at the end of our session. Once you reach 6 total conditions, you are removed from this plane of existence. This is the loss of life of your character, and adios to your membership here in the Autobots. All right, everybody, what I want you to do right now, couple things. As we get set up and as we get ready, decide who is going to roll your leadership role. This can be 2 people, but I believe, who was the last ones that we had do this? It was a repeat again of Shannon and I think Rob. Was it Shannon and Rob again, or did somebody else do it? So we would have to have 2 new people among Jerry, George, and Mitch. Who would like to roll leadership? You don't have to. There's no negative to it if you fail. So
I can give that a roll.
All righty.
Can we compete or just let him do it? Oh,
If we want to.
Look at that. My friend, those are 6 dice that you can give out to any of your friends should they need one for a roll. So keep that tally in mind as you have 6 leadership dice.
All right.
And anybody
and
else?
As a general reminder, 2 leadership dice removes a condition.
Correct. So you can bank them for the end of the session whenever we kind of tally up conditions.
I got 3 successes as well.
Look at that for boy. Those couldn't have come at a better episode, as you all have 12 dice that you can use throughout the course of this session. All right, friends. So again, a brief recap for those of you that are just joining us. The group that you see before you were childhood friends. They competed and went on several adventures through what is called Atari Twilight, battling pop culture villains, listening to the music of the 80s, and basically becoming the victors of one of the most fantastical conflicts in Western Maryland's history, in the town of Garrett. It has been roughly a decade since they have all been together, but they have, by circumstances very different, returned to their hometown of Garrett, Maryland, finding that it is in a state of temporal flux. The loop that was part of their local scene and business that dominated basically the economical situation of their town had something happen to it. We're not sure exactly what it was, but it had caused many very bizarre effects, very strange science and temporal anomalies throughout their town, causing the seasons to coexist at once, everything to be in a state of perpetual darkness or midnight, and the populace of the town itself seems to shift their clothing with their driving from wagons to vehicles between the ages and existence of Garrett itself, something looking like the turn of the century, others looking very modern, some of them even looking futuristic. So their town is not as they remembered it, and also exactly like they remembered it. Anytime they can turn a block and potentially see their younger selves in some mirror or picture of what once was. But now they find themselves at the home of one of their own, George Butts, as they were kind of summoned there by a very enigmatic call, someone claiming to be George's son, Aaron. However, George does not currently have a son, but they responded to this call nonetheless. Upon investigation of the home, they realized that it was stuck in a state, or George did, before his actual arrival at the house. It was soon after that that they heard Aaron, met Aaron at the same time Pennywise revealed himself and attacked the group. Friends, with the exception of Shannon, like I said before, it is time to get into this episode. And if you could all turn to your Spotify playlist, I believe it might be time for track number 2, Machine Heads. Machine Head by Bush, everybody. So if you could just put that on and put it on loop, because we're probably going to need it. Shannon or Meta, what is Shannon currently wearing? Like these are the same outfit that she would have had in Vegas, presumably, as she goes flying through the French doors.
Yeah, with the exception of the winter gear that we kind of shopping montaged. So whatever, over jackets people got for the cold. I imagine she probably didn't take it off because there was really nowhere to put it. So she's probably got a couple extra layers on at the moment.
Okay, so what ends up happening, whatever is the outermost layer of that you're wearing, presumably like a puffer jacket or some type of winter garb, that is shredded by the French doors as you bust, like basically upper back first through these panes of glass. You can feel it ripping at the coat. Luckily, it seems the majority of the coat has taken the brunt of these blades. But when you smash against the shed, you can feel one of your ribs pop out of place as you slide down the aluminum structure, a state of high shed architecture in the 80s. But as you slide down, you feel that familiar twinge. You've been in a very physical type of occupation. So, a broken rib or a popped rib, this is something that's you know what it is, but you still take a condition for this. So this will bring you up to 2. It would have been 3 had you not had something that could be shredded.
Oh, all right.
As you slide down, you are not unconscious. You are not even, your bell's not even rung. Shannon is a prize fighter. She can take a hit. And as you kind of push yourself back up, everybody else, all the other Autobots, as you turn and look, George being the closest to Pennywise, you see the clown turn and look right through the shattered French doors into the eyes of Rob Ott, the one that got away. And he looks at Rob and whispers in a scream, "Finally!" Friends, what do you do? In this moment of mania, you each have one action you can take.
Mitch, from wherever he was, I think he was standing on the porch, just outside of the range of a flying Shannon. Not picking up the vibe here, other than Shannon, but like, if anyone's going to get thrown through a window, that seems the most appropriate of the group. He sort of throws his hands up, non-aggressively, and goes, "PW," and steps towards the room. That's all he does.
You can roll me a charm if you would like.
Okay.
What's everyone else do?
Oh. 1 success out of 2 dice.
Oh no, does Rob want priority first? You seem to have a connection with this guy.
Rob is wide-eyed, going to kind of take a step back, show him both pinkies and kind of keep backing up. Like, come and get it.
When you expose your pinkies, Pennywise, a tongue that's a little too thin and a little too long, begins to lick his upper lip. Everyone else?
George would put himself between P-Dubs and Aaron. And if there's a door, maybe he would close it. Like behind him, like just kind of close it behind him without even looking.
I tell you what, because you're keeping your eyes on Pennywise, correct? Like you're just kind of like reaching back. Roll me an investigate. Wow. Okay. Here's how this works. You're going to succeed on this investigate, and at no other time in the home of the Buttses are you going to be required to roll an investigate. You are, from this point forward, going to be able to be aware of anything that whenever you tell me you want to look around, I'll tell you what's there, because this is your house, and 3 successes easily gives you full run of the place. George, as you reach back and to basically kind of like maybe hold or touch or engage Aaron, you swipe air. And if you chance a glance back, which you can with a 3 without really kind of taking your eyes off of
Yeah, I
him,
would.
you see that the cubby, the door is still open, but Aaron is nowhere to be seen. You see a little bit of a shadow inside, and you can only assume he's kind of sunk back in after his warning that it was a trap.
That's all George can hope for right now. He ensures that door is closed and stands guard again.
Sounds good. You take up position, which leaves none other than Jerry and Ben, because Ben is, unless I say otherwise, basically at the hip of Jerry.
I think Jerry will put himself between Pennywise and Shannon and kind of nod to Ben to like help her up.
He's already moving. As soon as you kind of take up position, he kind of uses Jerry as a shield as he moves and kind of has to put his back to Pennywise and everything that's going on in the house. And Shannon, in your state of just, the pain from your rib, you would see Ben's hand come down as he is ready to, lift you back to your feet. So let's start at the top then. With these actions and with everything made, Mitch, as you run forward and you say PW and you roll a success on your charm, Pennywise looks at you and goes, "Mitchie, what are you doing here?"
All I can think of is the Californians. What are you doing here?
That's
That's exactly what I'm going with.
No, Mitch. I think
El
Mitch
Segundo.
responds in kind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm fucking around.
I think Mitch responds in kind. And in like a very like friendly tone. He just goes, "What are you doing here? This is Butts' house."
And with one of the most honest, earnest, and you can tell that there's no sarcasm at all in the statement, Pennywise looks at you and he goes, "I'm here to kill all of your friends."
Don't do that.
Why?
sounds of that.
Why?
One of his eyes begins to drift outward a little bit. "'Cause I was told to."
Can I ask who told you to?
And again, the eye kind of comes back to orient, and as soon as it does, the other one begins to move off into the corner. "By the boss." All right, everybody, if you could go to let's go to Silent Lucidity, track number 3 for me, please.
Thought for sure you were going to call a Bruce Springsteen audible.
Say,
Yeah, I think if Mitch still has the ball at this moment, there's like a understanding as he realizes like, oh, this is not where I parked my car. He looks over and goes, "Oh, who's the boss?" And like his hands are like lowering back down from like a friendly position.
As you say that, he looks at you, and again, this is a face that you've known for like 10 years. He gives you a wink. And when he opens his eyes, George, you see that everyone is gone. You see Mitch is gone, Rob, Shannon, Ben, Jerry, everyone is gone. You are still standing in your exact position, and Pennywise is still standing in the middle of presumably your son's sofa fort in the middle of your old living room, stuck as it is in the greatest decade ever, the 80s. And Pennywise cracks his back, sighs, and in a very human way, and turns to you and says, "Well, you can go about your business, little toy. I only like to play with real children. You're not a real boy, are you, Pinocchio? Would you like to be?" And he doesn't approach you, but he's standing and looking at you here in your own living room.
What's your deal, man?
I have no deal. This is business. Business is what it is.
You know, I feel like you think we're supposed to be intimidated, scared, but you're nothing.
He looks at you and smiles, and the rows of razored teeth seem to gleam and kind of draw in what little light there is in this room.
I don't care what you say, little toy. I'm not here to wind you up, nor am I here to play with you. Enjoy your home.
And he begins to leave. Much like a guest would of your mother's or your father's back in the day. He heads towards the front door.
Still nobody else around. How close does he have to go by me to get past there?
He has to close the distance a little bit. So he would probably go from like 10 feet to 7 feet. And then he would start to kind of draw away from you again as you're kind of back towards the cubby, which is sort of equidistant but off center to where the front door is and where the couch and everything would be.
Okay. As he moves a little bit closer, I'd like to look at his waistline. Is his get up a onesie? Is there a shirt and some poofy shorts? Like, is it a 2-piece, a 1-piece?
This is an excellent question. It is a 1-piece. This is
Okay.
definitely something that is solid. It has no separation at what would be the waist, other the hemline of a shirt and the beginning of a trouser. This is an old vaudevillian, if you will, kind of clown costume. Something that you step into, presumably button or zip up in the back, and it's got the like stereotypical tropish kind of poofy balls on the front of it. But it has like that old kind of cream and like striped colored that you would see kind of turn of the century, 1915, 1920-ish.
Okay. So I can't pull his shirt over his head. That was the play.
Hockey rules, right?
That's what I was. I think in this case, I wouldn't by any means really assault him, but I would put an arm out to kind of catch him at the midriff and say, "You haven't been dismissed." And I would push him back into the room.
When you touch him around the waist, you immediately feel your fingers dip into him like you are touching, for lack of a better descriptor, Jell-O. You feel your fingers kind of slip between a gelatin-like substance, and you can actually see where the cloth sort of kind of gloves around your fingers as they dip into whatever the hell is underneath this. And when you sweep to push him back, it's like running your fingers through pudding. You can feel resistance, but he doesn't move. And he stops though and turns and looks at you.
Little toy, do you want to play with the other little toy? Enjoy yourself until your batteries die.
All right, whatever, Pudgy. Fuck off. And I pull my hand out of his fluff.
He looks a little hurt. He has been working on his weight, and he walks over and opens the door and closes it. And as he passes in front of the picture window, you see that he is almost like he's checking himself in the reflection, looking at his silhouette and like sort of touching the area that you were looking at, just I guess to see how he looks in silhouette. And then he turns and you see him sink like he's on an elevator and disappears.
Seemed like that was going to be a futile effort, so I'm going to go to the door that assumedly it's the same one that's closed, and see if that other toy is there.
Yeah, you're able to get into the crawl space. Isn't something that like only Aaron could fit into. Obviously, it's a lot easier for him, but an adult, someone your size, can easily get in there. And again, this is the house that you remember. You see that there are holiday decorations and old clothing and your parents' yearbooks and things like that, sort of very well organized in this area with boxes that have the labels on the outside, like old bankers' boxes. And you see that in the very back of the space, the outline of light, basically revealing another door. You would know now in recollection that this door is actually something that you never found as a child. This is the other entrance to your father's lab. This is the one that was behind his office. This was the secret room that he had. And this was the other entrance into it, but it appears to at least be ajar.
I go through, or at least I open and peek in.
As you peek in, you see the room basically as you remembered, but it has been ransacked. You see that there are bodies everywhere, but these are bodies that you know very, very well. Some of them are your mother, in old age with gray hair, but they have been dismembered. Some of these are you, much older, much younger. They have been dismembered. These are all the different model numbers and versions that your father, Eugene, had made sure were in place. So as you aged and as your mother aged, he could transfer your consciousness to another robot and keep the suspense as long as he could that you were, in fact, not human. And as all of this transpires, you realize that there is a third body amongst all of these, as you see older versions of Aaron spread around, dismembered with circuitry kind of sticking out, eyes that are seemingly lit and moist and alive, but they are nothing more than the glass eyes now of something that you would see in a creature of taxidermy. And because you don't need to roll and investigate here in your own home, you see that at the end of this space, there is a very real body, one that has been dead for quite some time. And with the jacket that it's wearing and the fact that it is cradling one of your versions with one arm and holding on to one of your mom's versions with its other, you see the body of your father.
I think this is sorry, I guess more description on the body. Is this like decayed, frozen in time? It's just a skeleton at this point.
Yeah, it's really, you would guess that it's been several years dead down here.
Okay.
It's impossible at this point to figure out exactly how long it would be, even with your investigates. This would be something that even like a CSI person that was trying to identify time of death would need a lab to take care of. This would require, like forensic tests and things of that nature. But it is old enough to have exposed pieces of skeleton, like skull. But again, you can tell immediately that it's your father. His glasses still sit, kind of hanging down, his nose already sort of gone. But you can see in almost a pristine way of being kept and preserved, one of your shattered bodies of you as a younger child, probably when Atari Twilight started. He's holding that, almost cradling that, and he has his arm around one of the versions. It's a bisected version of your mother, would have been right around the same age that she was when you knew her or last saw her.
Gotcha. So really, I think George could just surmise that this is another maybe split second or whatever we're calling that, spare second. He probably same thing, got visited by P-dubs and got stuck here. I think this is not the only entrance. This is just a secret entrance to the lab space. I'd look to see if I can open up the door to the main door.
Absolutely. On this side, it doesn't require any key codes or any of like the things that you had to put in your dad's desk. This side literally has a latch, and that as you open it, it would slide back, revealing, You see like the toppled chair of your father's desk, and the room as you remember it, his office, as soon as you open it.
Okay. Just want to make sure there wasn't the only way in or out. I guess at this point, though, I would firstly, in a as calm as I can, call out for Aaron. Hey, buddy, you out there? Just, it's okay to come out now.
Even with your investigates, you realize that you hear from behind you in the room where your father passed with all of the destroyed bodies of robots. You hear, Dad? And when you turn around, you realize that Aaron had hidden among his own doppelgangers to try to mimic that he himself was dead. And as he stands up, you see very similar, like a headless body, Aaron's own head on a shelf right behind him. As he kind of stands up, but he doesn't seem to be weirded out by any of this. He just comes running towards you.
Like just running towards me, or weapons running towards me?
He doesn't seem to have anything brandished, but he is running directly at you, like almost like head down as fast as he can go.
I think at that point I'm like on one knee, ready to like, assuming like I'm gonna brace this kid.
Yeah, he just runs into a hug, and as soon as he hugs you, the thing that you have really kind of pressed away, especially during your time in the Naval Academy, that little battery that shows you just how much juice you have left, the way that you are right now and the model that you are right now, you never see that begin to deteriorate because it's sort of self-propagating. But whenever Aaron hits you, you see it overcharge by about 10-20%, and he hugs you. Dad, what are we doing here?
Oh man, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know enough. At some point I'm gonna introduce you to a guy named Mitch. He's, you'll take him in doses, but he's kind of a smart guy, so he might knows more about this. But how long have you been here?
He turns around and you see in the space that he was occupying, part of the wall has 17 hash marks on it. 17 breakfasts.
17 breakfasts. Have you been eating? Have you been able to eat breakfast around here?
Yeah. And
where from the kitchen?
And there's Pop-Tart, like the aluminum kind of metallic silver Pop-Tart wrappers everywhere. There's been no trying to put them away, or they're just you see them now with your investigate abilities. You see that there's Pop-Tart wrappers everywhere. You're not sure how well stocked the Butts house is, but it presumably has quite a few Pop-Tarts.
Okay, so are you hungry now, or are you fill up on Pop-Tarts?
He just shakes his head. He's, you can tell that despite being a robot, he looks a little green around the gills, having just witnessed a savage fight. And he just continues to hold on to you. And he says, Dad, how are we going to get out of here?
Well, that's the question of the day now. I tell you what, I'm going to work on this computer, see if maybe there's something there. Maybe we got to think our way out of this, squeeze our eyes shut really tight. I don't know yet, but let me start looking into things here. And with that, I'm like, if there's like a chair, I'm gonna if we're assuming like maybe there's two office chairs on like swivel wheels, I'm gonna put him in one and kind of scoot him towards me, and then I'm gonna sit at the console and just see if I can just log in. I don't know. I'm gonna try to access it.
Absolutely. So basically, you right the one office chair that had fallen. It was your dad's chair, the one you always saw him in. And when you sit down in it, you can smell him. You can, in a weird way, almost feel him as the leather kind of conforms to a shape that isn't yours. And a second later, Aaron quits his chair and he sits down on your lap and just kind of holds up against your chest as you begin to look into the computer of Eugene Butts. But friends, we have other things that are going on right now. So George, we'll see you and Aaron in a little bit. Shannon and Mitch, you two are falling. I need you each to roll a move check for me, please.
Okay, Greg.
That was like a fuck you, Greg. All right.
In the most loving way possible. 0 successes for me.
Mitch, how'd you do? 2 successes? All right. With 2 successes, Mitch, I am going to give you an option. You can be perfectly fine, or you may make another roll that could go one of 2 ways. Positively, you can make a roll where both you and Shannon are okay, or you could make a roll that would subject you to something that you right now have avoided. So I leave that up to you. Right now, Mitch is safe. He can take that move, but you have 2 move successes. You can double those up if you'd like and try to save both of you.
Well, Greg, what's the falling scenario look like? Do I see like are we falling like the ground?
You see nothing.
Like Indiana Jones spike trap?
You do not see anything. You are falling in pitch darkness. You can the sensation of falling is basically your only referent. That goes for both of you as you just feel free fall. There's nothing as you are reaching out and grasping.
Do I see Shannon?
Yes, you can see one another.
Okay. I'll take the second roll. Move as well for that one.
Let's do a move, yeah.
1 success.
All of a sudden, as you are falling through darkness, you emerge into a huge cavern. And this cavern has what appears to be a ledge on the right, a ledge on the left, and in between those 2 ledges is a river of energon. And as you smash into the ground, Shannon, you see it coming and you realize you are literally going in like a lawn dart. You're going to go in head first. And you see at the last possible second, Mitch slides underneath you and both of you you crash on top of Mitch. None of you take a condition in this moment. Both of you are prone. No conditions. Thank you, Mitch, for your sacrifice as you stand and look around here in the bowels of Castle Grayskull.
Okay, get off. Off.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Stop. Thank you. Do you not just see me fly twice in a row?
Yeah, Pennywise.
Not to sound ungrateful or anything, but maybe don't push on this part of my I think I fucking messed up a rib or something.
Hey, you don't fight Pennywise head on. It's usually like a more of a...
Who the fuck is Pennywise?
The clown.
The thing that just did that?
Yeah.
Why are you friends with him? What the fuck?
Well, long story short, he got sucked into the spare second, and he's just been there with me for the last 10 years. And since he couldn't eat me or he'd starve, we were just kind of there together.
I fucking hate you.
Okay.
Both of you roll me and investigate. This is your first look at the space that you're in.
3 successes.
You motherfuckers are rolling tonight. Holy hell.
Mitch looks around and he goes, yeah, I'm probably going to jump in that.
Seriously?
Just so we're clear.
1 success for Shannon.
Okay.
You're just going to jump in.
With 3 successes, I'm going to give Mitch the same layout because, again, this is Garrett. And Castle Grayskull is part of the loop. It's part of Garrett. It's something that would have been available in the spare second. I'm assuming that over the course of 10 years, Mitch has been everywhere you could possibly be in Garrett, especially places that might be loop dominated. And in this area, this is a place where years ago, a pass was thrown and caught from Scarlet to JD. This is a place where, and you look around and there are 2 subterranean or 2 ground level cages. Both of them appear to be locked. You all are on the floor that ends with these kind of pulled cages. And the river of energon that you opted or thought you should jump into potentially, you see that it begins to form the outline of a clown. And this wire rendering of energon laced and dripping becomes a caricature of Pennywise. And he looks at you and shakes his head almost apologetically.
Sorry, old chum, but you're not in the plans anymore. But I'm a clown of my word. I will not hurt you.
And he looks over at Shannon.
You're the one he fears the most, and so I fear you. Goodbye.
That's cute.
He begins to sink. And it's at that time that those of you that have seen Nothlings before, Mitch, you see these dark, shadowy heads begin to bob from the Energon. There's first one, then three, then a half dozen. And much like they are riding the currents of this Energon, they begin to move towards the island that you and Shannon are on. Is there anything you all would like to do?
Shannon unholsters her gun because that's her safety blanket and immediately yells at Mitch and says, "What the fuck are these?"
I don't know.
What do you mean? You have all the answers all the time.
Oh, since we don't have time for this, he drops down, opens the messenger bag, pulls out Mitchell, conks him on the head, and boom, the floodlight opens up, pointing at the Nothlings. They don't like light or Jerry's lightning fingers. I don't know how bullets work.
They begin to stay away from what would be like the extension of this light. So as far until it becomes like a dimmer type of light, they're waiting along the outside. And anytime that the light is he kind of sweeping like a searchlight or
Yeah,
just a
yep.
static? As he would sweep, you would see them begin to kind of move into the absent darkness that's left behind. And as soon as the sweep comes back, they recoil, but they seem to be getting just a couple inches closer each time. But they've maintained a bit of a distance. You have a few seconds here. And Meta, as Shannon is kind of, has her gun to bear, you realize that these things, while they look like smoke and are insubstantial, you have the idea as they're moving through this Energon that they have at least some type of physicality. They're causing the Energon to move. So it's not like they're just like ghosts passing through it. They're causing and affecting some change. And so with those investigates, that's about all you have, except for one thing. Mitchell, you recognize that the Energon is rising. You see it begin to kind of creep over the edge, almost like the tide's coming in, and it begins to creep more and more onto your platform. Not too fast, maybe an inch every 30 seconds.
Greg, a couple questions for you with that three investigate. The Castle Grayskull was a terminus point. It was the end point of the Energon flow, or at least one of the end points. Does it seem to be stagnant Energon?
No, it's flowing.
Is it flowing to where we are or away from where we are?
This is the funny thing about Castle Grayskull. And again, this is something that you would probably have known and that Keystone's definitely figured out. When the river is running of Energon, Castle Grayskull sits on a cliff. If it continued its course, it would actually bust out of the cliff and become an Energon waterfall. There is no Energon waterfall visible from Garrett on the outside. You're not really sure where this shit goes. It should go back outside. It goes in that exact direction, but no one's ever followed it all the way.
The other question I have for you, just two, are any of the terminals functional here? And is this the same blue as the swamp?
Yes and yes. You see that there are two terminals, one on the far island, which is between a river of Energon and 6 Nothlings. And on this side, there appears to be at least some type of digital readout on like a panel beside each of the sunken cages.
He looks to Shannon and says, all right, listen, I don't know a lot about a lot of shit right now, but I think if we jump in this, it's going to be weird time stuff, and I don't know where it comes out. But it's probably not great, but also better than dying, probably. Also, if I can get to that, I might be able to reverse the flow.
So what do you want me to do?
I mean, I don't know. They're only here to kill you, so don't die.
I'll give you this
Sure.
one for free, Mike. Pennywise said that he made a promise that he would never kill you, but he didn't say anything about the Nuthlings.
That's valid. That's valid. Then yeah, I guess he changes that to I don't know, hold them off. I guess you can have Mitchell.
Okay, great. Do I talk to it? Does it understand?
Yeah, of course it does.
Of course it does. She says as she goes to like start shooting the Nuthlings.
Roll
Of
me
course it does.
roll me 2 forces here, and let's see what the first barrage of shots are like. These will be your first 2 shots that you take.
Can I use that as my iconic?
Absolutely,
need- oh,
100%. Yep.
Cool. Okay, so that's 2 successes on the Glock.
Okay. So with these first 2 shots, I mean, you can basically just see the head kind of bobbing up and down, and you're able to, split the skulls of each of these things. And you see that they appear to be wounded by these shots and they sink below the energon. But moments later, they are replaced, and you
Mhm.
see the hole that you had made, or like the kind of the divot or the canyon that you had cut into a couple of these heads is now filled and sealed with slices of glowing energon.
Mitch, I don't think think the Energon's fixing them.
Oh,
That's it? That's all you got? And
I
do
Oh
the
my
thing
God,
that you're gonna do. So because I'm gonna run out of bullets.
okay.
Mitchell's proximity alarm starts to go off as they're getting closer and the energon's beginning to creep up into the island. And I'll also give you this one. In one of the cages in the back, you see fingers come up through the bars.
Who sees that?
Both of you.
Oh God. Oh shit, there's somebody here.
All right, well, you go figure that out. Mitchell, stay with her and also take a sample of the energon. And then he's gonna try to run and jump onto the other platform.
Mitchell, now remember, this is you're talking about a good like 30 yards between you and the other platform. This is a football pass that barely made it from Scarlet to JD across this gap.
Luckily,
Right.
I have 50 feet of rope.
That's right. That's
I actually
fucking
have
right.
I actually have a Dungeons and Dragons backpack of.
I literally have
how the
freaking
fuck
She
rope.
picked it. No, she picked it up in the last episode when you guys
I
went
did.
shopping. She made a point to pick up rope.
But how do I get
I
there?
said you could always use some rope.
That's so great.
It's not flowing fast, right? The energon.
You don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell that it's moving, but I mean, I've looked at plenty of rivers and thought, that's not moving real fast. And you put your foot in it and it'll, suck your shoe off if you have it on, or a flip flop or something. There's a
Okay.
lot of potential. I mean, it could be running slow. You don't know.
I put my hand in the energon, just like the way you'd like feel a stream. Just see if anything happens to me when I touch the energon.
Sure. Let's roll another investigate for this one because this is beyond observation. You're doing something specific.
1 success.
Okay. When you put it in, your hand gets very cold. More so than it did whenever you all were kind of riding this shit through the pipes. You don't know if this is just because of maybe the current environment. Maybe it's kind of drawing in the idea that it's cooler outside, so it's taking temperature like that. It's certainly something you could survive. It's just noticeably colder. Other than that, it does not hurt you. And when you put your hand in, an inch or 2 or 3, or how far do you want to go up to the elbow, the shoulder?
He'll go like if like at fingers at first, and then he'll go all the way up to the wrist and just see what happens.
Okay, to the wrist. Yeah, it's still, and you feel like there might be, you're not sure about the current at this point. It's still too close to the surface. It still seems lazy, like a lazy river, but you feel you could probably get a better idea if the deeper that you would go, presumably you would get a better read on how the current is with this.
Yeah, he looks to Mitch looks over to Shannon and says, listen, I can't jump that, and you can't throw me that far. So I'm gonna swim. And if the current sucks me in like an undertow, Mitchell is on a proximity sensor and will follow me. I suggest you do the same thing. Or else you'll be here with the whatever the fuck those things are.
There's somebody in there. I'm not leaving them.
Yeah, you'd be saying this as
Fuck's
Shannon
sake.
because Meta already said that Shannon was on her way to the cage. So she's like about halfway there whenever you like arrest her movement and you're sharing this conversation. Meta, you'd still see that there are fingers. You can see that the nails are cracked and dirty. There's blood running from the ring finger as this hand just kind of reaches up. It's not really so much of a wave as it is just a presence.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Shannon
run
is
over?
moving as quickly as Greg will allow her.
Absolutely. You get over there as Mitch is preparing himself for his dive. And as you get over there and look down, you see one blue eye and one brown eye as Chris Witt looks back at you.
Holy shit, Chris! It's Chris.
He's got a wispy long beard. He's about halfway to becoming Main Street Jimmy. And you see him look up at you, but you bet that he's probably maybe only a year or two older than you guys, but he looks 20 years older than you all. And he's sitting in there, and you can see reflected in those multicolored eyes, you can see yourself, Shannon. And when he looks up, you see tears run and cut through the grime, and he just whispers, Shannon.
Chris, and she reaches her arm and kind of like holds his forearm with hers, like
he hugs it, like much like Aaron hugged George. He just like folds into the extended arm and just he's not like he's trapping you. It's like he's just like, oh my God, contact somebody I know. He's just weeping. You can feel his incredibly thin frame just shuddering around your grip.
Is there any obvious lock or any kind of mechanism where the grate is?
There is what looks like a digital panel beside it. And for lack of a better description, it looks as if there is a coin operated arcade slot beside it. Like you think if you had a quarter, you could probably put it in this little slot. That's how much of an arcade resemblance it has. But it certainly seems to be, as its proximity to the lock itself, it certainly seems to be the mechanism that's keeping it secure.
She shoots it.
Roll me a force, but give yourself another +2 as this is literally point blank.
Okay. Damn it. Come on. Why won't it let me do it with the +2?
Oh, you can just do it
roll
again.
The iconic again?
Yeah, just do that, and then we'll
1.
We'll just add a success. Yeah, because okay, so you shoot and you hit it, and you can see that the panel itself shorts out as soon as you like strike at the lock, but you have definitely done some damage to it. It's going to take you another second. You think that if you kind of it's a tough aim even at this angle, but you can see that you can get him out. But as you look back towards Mitch, Mike, however you're preparing Mitch, you are now probably ankle deep in Energon. And Shannon, this Energon is now maybe 2 or 3 feet away from you. And you realize that as soon as this Energon hits the cage, it's going to fill the cage.
Yeah.
And you don't believe that there's going to be any way for him to breathe as soon as it submerges it.
Yeah.
So here's how it's going to play out, friends. You have one move here before the Energon begins to fill up Chris's prison. It's going to take you some time to aim and get this shot in. And however well that works, that might do it, you think? You're not sure if you'll have to do it again. But Mitch, these Nuthlings now are moving in on Mitchell. Mitchell has had to retreat because the Energon would overtake him. And so as your robot is kind of pulling back, they're advancing. Friends, what do you want to do?
I think the moment that Shannon said it was Chris, Mitch shouts fuck, skids to a slippery halt, probably like planting one hand, and then scrambles back and is moving as quick as he can back towards the cage. and if he's able to, like, scoops Mitchell on his way over there.
Oh, you can absolutely, yeah, pick up. Now, as soon as Mitchell's absence is noted, there is a more rapid progression of the Nuthling's advance. You're aware of that as soon as you pick him up. But again, you're moving for speed, not for anything else. As you are able to close the distance, what do you all do?
Shannon's going to try to get Chris out. That's her priority.
Okay, roll me another shot.
Okay. Come on, RNG here. 2 successes.
You shoot it, and this time, as Chris doesn't even really flinch away from it, it's almost like he's too weak to do even that.
Yeah.
But as you shoot it, sparks fly off of it. You see the digital panel beside it kind of give up the ghost, and you see it kind of zoom away. Any type of light that it had has been drawn into it as it powers off, and the locking mechanism springs open, and it kind of just kind of pops ajar a little bit. And you are able to kind of swing the cage door open as Chris reaches up to you. And it's at this time that you realize that his left leg is missing.
Okay. I got you, Chris. She's going to wrap her arms around him and hoist him up. She figures she could probably lift him given how little weight he has.
No roll whatsoever. You've lifted children that weigh more than this. And as you kind of pull him up, he almost falls into you. And, he almost smells like death. He almost smells like a corpse, but he's looking at you, and he can only say one thing over and over again. Are you real? Are you real?
Yeah, buddy. I'm real. We're going to get you out of here.
And he looks over and he sees Mitch, and his eyes go wide a little bit. Mitch?
Yeah, man. I have an idea that's not any better or worse than any of my other ones. And he, like, taking that moment where Shannon and Chris are, like, close together, he grabs both of them in, like, a hug, and sort of shakes off Mitchell, who falls into the messenger bag. And he says, all right, listen, I need everyone to focus on, I don't know, the paperback exchange, I guess. My dive's pretty wonky here, so I'm gonna need everyone's help.
Okay. Chris, can you do that?
And I'm gonna try to dive everyone out of here.
As soon as Chris realizes what's going on, you hear him start to shout. And as you all dive, you crash into the floor. Boom, boom. And as all three of you are sitting there, Chris looks over at you in this wiry, wispy beard. You can't do that in here. That's why they put me in here.
Fuck.
What?
The Energon.
Chris, where does this
rises.
go? And he points to the Energon.
I don't know. And we'll pull away from this scene as the Energon creeps forward. And we go to one Jerry Baker. If you could, go to track number 4. Little Skid Row, I Remember You. You can put that on repeat if you'd like. Jerry, man, you have had a good nap. I mean, this is nice. You're comfy, you're warm, you feel well rested, you feel fed, you feel just a perfect state of being. And you feel a hand on your shoulder, kind of just slowly, kind of like rocking you awake, and you hear Ben's voice. We're back, man. We're back. We're back.
What? Back where? What?
Ben looks up and he stands like he's kind of like taking over and dominating your field of vision. And when he steps back and looks around, you see sunlight pouring in through a window. And this is a bedroom with a pair of bunk beds. And Ben looks at you. We're back, man. We're back.
Am I dreaming?
No, man, I thought I was too. This is the place, man. This is the place where we grew up as brothers, with my mom and your dad and our dad, and I think we made it, man. I think we're out.
What do you
It's
remember
Garrett
before
outside,
this?
man. I don't know, man. I don't care, dude. We made it. You're with me, man. We did it.
Ben, we couldn't stay here.
We don't have to go back there, man. We do. We got out. We got out, man.
How?
I don't know. I woke up in the top bunk.
There's a thing about looking horse presents in the mouth.
Wait, what?
You don't look horse presents in the mouth.
What's a horse present?
It means like when things are good, but they shouldn't be.
Let's assume that's true. Then we shouldn't look at this one, right?
What? Fuck, I don't know. Where's everybody else?
Ben looks down. I mean, do we even care, man?
Yes. You have a
Why?
wife.
Yeah, man, we can get back to her.
Yeah, like
It's not
but
dark here, man. It's sunny. We can find Scarlet. Man, you could find Veronica, man.
let's go for breakfast. That's what we do, right? We go for breakfast.
Yeah, man. You just think about it, man. Just think about it. We just, you know? I mean, I don't even know how to get back. Do you know how to get back?
I don't know how we got here.
That's what I'm saying, man. I think we should just go with with the horse present.
Don't you throw that back at me. Okay. Let's assume everything is okay and that our friends aren't dead and that this isn't hell and that Mitch didn't just jump us somewhere or something, and go have breakfast and see what happens.
Yeah, all right, man. I haven't left the room, man. So I need you to roll a force for me, Jerry.
I got a single success.
I will allow you, again, you can re-roll this if you need to. You will need 2 successes, but you feel incredibly tired. And you see Ben sort of yawn as well. And he's like, man, let's just rest and then get something to eat and we'll figure it out, man. I'm dog tired, dude.
Jerry's gonna try and push through.
Okay.
Because this ain't right. He just feels wrong. Only got the
You wanna
one.
push it?
I pushed,
right.
but I only got the one.
You can't help yourself, but you fall back asleep. Jerry, you don't know how much time has passed, but when your eyes open again, you feel incredibly well rested. You don't feel that feeling of sleepiness anymore, that exhaustion that you had a moment ago, that felt like a moment ago. Same room, same sun, same everything, same decorations, something that you and Ben would have put up had you been teenagers in this place. But Ben's not here.
That'll get Jerry up and out of bed quickly. Is there signs of Ben being here?
Roll me an investigate.
Got a single success.
That's all it takes. As you look up, you see that the bunk bed, like where Ben had indicated that he woke up from, it's unmade. Certainly something has been sleeping up there. And as you look around, you see what looks like the inside of a blank cassette tape, normally reserved to write down, like, Ben's fantastic mixtape, with all of the songs present on it, but it's kind of teepeed and tented up on the table closest to your bed. And it says Jerry across the one side of it.
Pick that up and have a closer look at it.
I had to go find her.
Fuck. Jerry will presumably have to get dressed, and then he'll head out of the room.
This is the house as you remember it from, and again, these are things that are probably just at the edge of Jerry's remembrance. You've had 10 hard years in between the events that put you in the best possible timeline, and where you have ended up, playing Lollapalooza. There's just been a lot of life in between then and now. But you remember it. You remember the smells. You remember everything smelled like baking bread and youth and possibility. It was a house of hope. But as soon as you exit the room, you don't hear any sounds of life. You don't hear a barking dog or somebody downstairs, or the rumblings that you would hear of people, traveling across the floor. It's as silent as it can be inside this best timeline.
I'll head down to the kitchen. Are there any signs of life there?
It looks as if people have been living here. You do not see anybody there. It's not like you interrupted life. Like, there's nothing cooking on the stove. There's not like a hot pot of coffee. Everything's stocked. Like I said, it looks like somebody lives here. The refrigerator's full. It has all of the favorite foods that you and Ben would have picked out had you been teenagers. But there isn't anyone here. And that's when the TV in the living room comes on. And you hear, Jerry?
Jerry will spin around, hands at the ready.
Dressed like a newscaster is Pennywise inside this TV, as there are like tracking marks going across it as he's speaking. You're safe here. No one's gonna hurt you. This is the best place. It's a gift for you and Ben. No strings.
Where's Ben?
He shrugs his shoulders. Out and about, living his life. All I need to know is you're okay. You're still in a band. It's 1998. You live in New York City. Veronica's your wife? That's a nice plus. Just say you'll stay, Jerry.
My dad taught me a few things. Most of them were bad. But he also taught me not to believe everything I see on television. And Jerry's going to look around for something to throw at the TV.
There is an old amber glass colored ashtray on a stand right beside what would be like your father's recliner. It's filled with butts, not of the George variety, but of the cigarette variety. And it has a nice solid weight to it.
That seems like a good option. Yeah, Jerry will huck it at the TV screen.
It smashes in and completely shuts down the TV. There's just shattered gray glass in this cube now. And you see Pennywise sitting in the TV as the glass shatters, and he kind of dusts the glass off of himself. Have it your way, Jer Bear. And he disappears.
Yeah, I hate that. In the hall, is there a place where keys are hung?
Absolutely. This is your house. Yeah, right by the door, there's like a rack of keys to presumably, your dad's vehicle, Ben's mom's vehicle, potentially a vehicle of that what teenage Ben and Jerry would have driven around in if they had their wish of whatever that vehicle would be.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab whichever ones look most like a vehicle keys and head out the front door, hoping to find something to match them.
You do. You see something that definitely looks like truck keys, like something like your dad would have. Like there's almost like a Swiss Army knife kind of hanging as like a key fob off of it. And as soon as you open up the door and head out, you see the darkened world of the garret that you had left. You see the swirling temporal anomalies. You see the kind of weathered and destroyed area. And when you turn and look behind you, you see a vacant and almost condemned home.
Knew it. Oh, fuck. Where would he go? And Jerry finds himself struggling, and realizing how self-absorbed he's been, as he wouldn't even know where to begin to look for Scarlet if she was separated from us.
Roll contact for me.
I got a single success.
One success. Look at Jerry go. You know, obviously, that Scarlet is from Garrett. And honestly, with that success, I'm going to give you this. You're not sure where Ben would go first, but there are one very morbid and one very positive possibility. He could go to Scarlet's parents' home, or he could go to the graveyard.
Jerry ponders for a minute. He knows Ben was in a really bright mood when he left, so he'll probably go to her parents' house.
I will tell you this, that as you go out, you realize that there are vehicles here. And one of them, you have keys now, but they don't look like your dad's keys anymore. It's just a single ignition key. And there is an old, like 1950s Indian motorcycle that is sitting at the edge of the barn that your dad kind of let go, and it looks like it did. The board's missing, roof gone, definitely compromised, but this motorcycle seems at least functional, and it does turn over should you decide to start it.
Yeah, it seems like a good plan.
So as you roar out of your father's home, the one that if you take a right out of the driveway, you're going to end up in Tradewinds, and if you take a left, you'll end up in Garrett. And I assume you take the left, and as Jerry rockets down this street, we're going to cut away from this scene as we go to Rob Ott. Rob, you know where you are.
Yeah.
You know this place better than anybody. If you could, go to number 1 on the Spotify playlist, everybody. Put that on repeat. Little Journey, Only the Young. You're in the paperback exchange.
Of course.
And as you look around, you see from this side, there are boards over the windows, boards over the doors. Those have not been disturbed. You are inside, somehow transported into the interior of the paperback exchange. It is much like you remembered it layout-wise, but gone are the comic books. Gone are the majority of the paperbacks that lined all of the shelving. Gone are the crystals that used to clink and dangle on strings and fishing line from the ceiling. There's no evidence that Maggie was ever here, save for one. As you inhale, you catch just a whiff of 1969. You have a moment, my friend. Do you do anything while you're in this place that is basically your home away from home or your home?
I'm gonna check behind the counter, the checkout counter, and see if the anti-theft Louisville is there.
Yeah, sure is.
He's gonna load it up on his shoulder and then kind of start walking through the rows.
You start to enter the stacks, and immediately you realize, Rob, this building, these stacks, these rows, these shelves, it's a labyrinth again. It's far deeper than the store actually goes. It looks like it belongs as you round the corner and you see 50 feet of shelving, and you round another corner and there's 100 feet of shelving. You can look back and still see the front space, the lobby, if you will, the actual paperback exchange. But this is that place that you remember, and potentially there is a throbbing digit that reminds you too that this is the state of the paperback exchange when you had your last confrontation with this clown. And from everywhere and nowhere, you hear, you I get to deal with personally. You escaped me once, but our play date has finally arrived, Robbie.
What?
Do you want to know what your mother said when I ate her? Do
Am I
you
the
want
crazy
to
one,
know
or
what
did he
her...
just disappear?
What's that?
You literally just disappeared off my screen.
Oh, did I? I'm still here.
I heard I get to deal with you myself. And then like the second you went into whatever monologue you were, you disappeared and nobody else had a reaction. So I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Just
Am I
you.
back? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. You look like you're trapped in a 1980s computer, but you know.
That could very well be it. This could be Tron all over again. No, but as you hear this voice coming from everywhere, Pennywise says that he'll deal with you personally. And he asks you this.
Do you know what your mother did when I ate her? Do you want to know what her last words were, Robbie? She was the first one I visited.
How close is he? Can I see him, or is he still just a disembodied voice to me right now?
Yeah, it sounds like he's coming from like behind you, in front of you, off to the side. It's like everywhere. You can tell this is one of his fucking tricks. He's definitely trying to disorient you.
He's gonna take a swing behind him and say, "Was it fuck you?"
Roll me a force.
Okay.
Okay.
1 success.
You spin around and you crack something, and you realize that whenever you kind of pull it back, it is just one of the shelves. It clatters to the ground, broken. And there's a bit of a chuckle. It's kind of echoes and bounces around this area. I'm going to have you do this. Roll me an empathize.
0 successes.
There's something about this that obviously there's many, many, many things about this that doesn't seem right, but there's something nagging you. And you think if it was any place but the paperback exchange, it would escape you entirely, but there is still something that's nagging you. If you get another chance, I'll let you roll this again. You can push if you'd like. You can take your shame.
I was literally just going to say I want to push it.
Go for it. You will take a
3
condition for
successes.
this.
Take it. Give me the condition. 3 successes.
With 3, I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit at all. This fucking clown is terrified of you. Now, you don't know why, but there's something in this voice that immediately, when you hear that giggle again, it sounds forced. It sounds put on. It sounds like a fucking act. You're not sure he wants to be here.
Come out of the shadows. Fight me like a real whatever the hell you are.
Why would I do that, Robbie? Make me a better offer.
Why are you doing this? Why are you back?
Roll me a charm.
Okay. 2 successes.
Incredible rolling. You get an honest answer from this thing.
I couldn't stay there. I was dying. I took a deal.
And what exactly was the terms of this deal? Swing
Roll force.
direction.
Roll force.
0 successes.
When you swing and you follow your swing, you see Pennywise, as he was coming up behind you, move out of the way just as the bat goes across where his face would be. And he puts a finger up and sort of knows you. And he looks at you and he says,
all I have to do is kill you, and then I'm free.
You're in combat. I need you to make a move roll right now.
Right now, right now?
Right now, right now.
1 success.
You are able to dodge to the side. Luckily, the shelf that you just knocked over gives you an extra like 4 inches of play as you slam into the space that it occupied. But a claw still grabs you along the rib and slices you all the way down to your waist. Take a condition from that. This is your 3rd condition.
Yeah, it is.
What are you going to do now as you are you're facing off with this clown, this demon from your youth? What do you do?
Is he within grabbing distance?
Oh, he's within, harsh language distance. He's like literally, you're ready to dance.
Rob's gonna try to headbutt him. He's gonna try to grab him by the shirt collar and
Roll me a force. Actually, roll me your D12.
okay.
You're in the paperback exchange.
Got a 10.
Those are 2 successes with a 10. And as you headbutt Pennywise, the portion of your microphone comes alive and you hear,
Arise, Robimus Prime.
and as you headbutt Pennywise, he goes flying back maybe 10 feet in the air before he hits the tile and starts to slide. But he immediately kips up and you see his waist spin as he cracks and turns opposite, his legs following a second later as he runs at you charging. Roll a move.
One success again.
You are able to get away barely, and you realize that he has basically found how you're moving. He has your range. From this point forward, to evade any attack from him is going to require 2 successes. But he misses with this one as he comes around and he looks at you, and you can now see in these weird, almost alien eyes as they look in different directions, there is the very human quality of fear. What are you going to do, buddy? All right, everybody, go down to track number 5. Let's put a little War Pigs on right now.
We're still between the rows, correct?
You're still between the rows. Yes, you are.
I'm gonna try to pull a rack down on top of him.
Roll me a D12.
Ooh, 2.
Now, this is a miss. You can push. It will give you another condition, but I will allow you to re-roll the d12 if you decide to do that. Or you can take your shame, tell us why you take your shame, and it's an automatic success. But you do not have it again. Well, no, just so you know, it'll be rewarded at the end of the session. This is our mid-season finale, as it is. So
He's gonna take his shame, which is failing Maggie, Optimus, and Garrett as a whole. He believes that this is it. He either dies right now or he kills Pennywise. He can't let Pennywise get away for everything that he's done, for the smack that he's talked. He knows that this isn't his paperback exchange, at least not his personal one that he knows. So he has absolutely no qualms with tearing the place apart. He will set it on fire with this thing inside if he has to. But he is not going to lose again. He's got 9 more. He'll lose a finger if he has to.
You go to pull down the rack, and you realize that just the force of your power given to you by Maggie, it's almost like you reach up with a telekinetic hand and grab the top of the rack, something like 9 feet up, and you pull it down on top of Pennywise, who does almost a comical as it comes down, hits him and traps him about halfway through, waist up, as he looks up at you. He fires both of his hands up, and they stretch to about 6 feet. I need you to make a move roll.
Ooh, 1.
Now, again, at this point, even if you would push it, you would get a condition, and you're going to get condition anyway. So being the benevolent GM that I am, you should probably at this point just take it, because you're going to get 1 no matter what. So that takes you to 4 conditions. And with 4, this time you get sliced along the face as one of his nails catches just underneath your jaw and lifts the flesh all the way up past your eye into your hairline. You immediately, as your heart is beating so fast, you can feel the blood pumping out of this wound on your face. You can see it splashing in a rhythm against your shirt as you reel back from it. But he is trapped. And what would you like to do in this moment? This will be the last round of our combat.
Let me ask you something, Greg. Have you ever seen Happy Gilmore?
I sure have.
I am gonna crow hop with this bat and golf swing him right in the temple.
Roll me a d12.
9.
With 1 success, as you twirl the bat and move forward, and absolutely making Gilmore himself proud of this, the form that you possess, you crack this guy's head. The Pennywise's head is perfectly teed up as it's kind of trying to lift up and get over the rack that you have thrown on it. And as soon as you hit the head, you see it go flying back towards the lobby. It's screaming the entire way. It is crying. It is weeping. This is not a scream of defiance. This is a scream of fear absolute. It rolls into basically the proper of the paperback exchange. And when you blink and open your eyes, you realize that gone are the maze of labyrinth, the labyrinth of shelves, the extra space that was put in the paperback exchange. And as you are sitting there with 4 conditions, 2 away from death, you look down at the headless body of Pennywise, and you see its stomach begin to distend. And you see the onesie that it was wearing start to tear away. And in the weird white pocked flesh underneath, you see a hand press against the skin from inside. Do you do anything?
I'm going to poke it with the bat. I'm not going to hit it. I'm going to poke it.
It doesn't seem to react. It seems another hand joins it as you almost see it start to like scrape on the inside of this flesh. The flesh is so pale, it's almost transparent, but it's translucent enough that you can make out that these are hands. How close are you to the body?
I'm probably damn near standing over top of it.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see everything clear as day. The body is beginning to almost inflate like a roadkill left too long in the sun. It's filling with gas, and you can see that it's beginning to almost barrel out of the chest. Some of the pom-poms on the front begin to pop off as it just gets bigger.
Okay, now I'm going to start moving away from the body. This looks like an explosive situation. I'm gonna go. Is the head still talking or screaming?
It stopped.
Oh, okay. But is it like alive? Can I go over and see if it's still alive?
Roll me to investigate.
Is this like a mirror situation thing? 3 successes.
You know this place backward and forward. You know, especially without the comic books and the books here, you know the layout of this place like the back of your hand. And by God, you can't find that fucking head anywhere.
There's a joke in there.
Sure is.
Yeah. Well, in searching for the head, I'm gonna kind of go to the door and push my back against the door while still watching this body bloat, just to kind of see what happens.
It continues to bloat. It continues to get larger. Turn on track number 3, silent lucidity. And it finally splits. But instead of like gore, blood, bone, viscera flying through the air, it's almost like a party favor goes off. You see confetti, you hear a as a whistle goes off, and you see kind of like colored smoke like you would see in a color run, kind of clouds the air, and you see hands come up through the split in the body, now exposed to the air, and you see them press like they're getting out of a swimming pool and push up, and standing in front of you is Maggie. We cut away from this scene and we go back to the House of Butts as Aaron is sitting on the lap of his father. As George, you are watching the screen of your own father and you are reading the diary of Eugene as he has documented everything that has occurred since the fall of the loop. You seem that your father must have survived whatever event happens, but he's not sure what it is. He's not sure what caused the calamity that has befallen Garrett, but you do know that he gives you several interesting pieces of information, chief of which is that here in Garrett, at least at the time of your father's passing, there is a resistance group, and that group is called Alta. And as you see that, you realize there are names here, code names underneath. You know, with a little bit more deciphering, you can find the code. And as Aaron kind of leans forward, the green light coming from this old computer illuminates father and son. And in this moment, Aaron turns to you and smiles and says, "What? There might be other people."
Yeah, maybe. You can read pretty good. How old are you?
Well, I'm a robot.
Oh, you know that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
figured it out downstairs.
Fair. I just, I didn't want to. Okay. Well, yeah, it looks like, yeah, there might be some people here. Do you recognize any of these names?
He leans forward and he points at one of them and he says, "That's the guy that helped out the Power Rangers." And you see Zordon as one of the names of presumably a code name for one of these resistance members. He was their leader.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. As I kind of like lean in to read the rest of the list, are there any other names that like stand out to look at?
Yeah, I'll give you a list of them. I don't want to share them with everybody else right now. This is for George's eyes only.
Okay.
And at this moment, nobody else can make any. So I will send that list to you after our session is over.
Okay.
Sneaky sis.
As you receive this information, we skip over to Castle Grayskull. Shannon, Mitch, with what remains of Chris Witt. Energon is up to your knees. The Nothlings are coming. What's the play?
It's not working. What do we do? Do we have to just go that way? And she points towards the way it's running, basically.
Listen, they locked him up, so that means there's an exit here. If you think you can get us to the actual exit on foot, then we can go that way. If you don't think you can, I think we
don't
jump
really
in.
have a choice, Mitch.
The other option is we jump in the Energon.
We just tried that. Nothing happened.
No, I tried to dive. This Energon flows all around Garrett. It flows throughout the loop. Chris said we can't dive here.
Yeah, but we've been in this before, right? The last time we were here.
Yeah, it brought us here.
50-50 shot.
If you tell me you can get us to the exit, I'll believe you.
With those earlier investigate, Shannon, as you assess the situation, the trained bounty hunters, you look around, you see that there is a catwalk broken, definitely not level, heading off to your right towards a kind of a cracked, almost castle-like archway. And you see that there is two of the Nothlings are pulling themselves up onto this catwalk, presumably to prevent you from going. But you're Shannon Locke. What do you think?
Seems like they're protecting the way out, so that's what Shannon thinks. So she's gonna go where those two are and find a way to MacGyver 50 feet of rope, hoist two dudes and herself up into it.
You guys want to tie yourselves together, like sort of like mountaineering type of situation?
Yeah.
It is mountaineering
probably.
rope. I can't believe this shit came into play this quick, but okay. So yeah, you guys are quickly able to tie everybody up, and Shannon, you're leading the way. And as you approach these two Nothlings, they turn to fight. What is your play as everyone is moving behind you?
We need
Mitch, you're gonna have to help Chris. He can't run.
Yeah, that we need the Mitchell light thingy.
Yeah, can I give my bonus dice from Mitchell to Shannon?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to give Mitchell, as far as like an iconic item, it can definitely be on loan. I'm assuming this is kind of just for the lights that Mitchell possesses. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically perched on your shoulder, kind of grabbing like a parrot for a pirate, only these two eyes are just blasting lumens out towards these shadows, but they don't recoil to the point where they leave the catwalk, but you can see that they're moving back and they're sort of spinning in and out of just trying to maintain their position while fighting the light.
Yeah. And if they seem to get close or if anything gets too uncomfortable around them, Shannon will use her Glock to defend them as best as she can.
Just for color, roll me 2 Glock rolls, please.
Okay.
And you'll have the +2 dice from Mitchell.
Yeah, Mitchell's
how do I
definitely
add
helping.
how do I add it to my rolls?
Let's do this. Roll 4 Glocks and we'll add all the successes.
Oh, okay. 5 successes.
We'll take this from Mitch's point of view. Mitch, you see Mitchell riding shotgun on death itself as Shannon begins to dance along the catwalk, and she steps forward, and almost like she's throwing an uppercut, she puts the Glock right under where the shadows, where the Nuthling's chin would be, and fires and shoots it off of the catwalk. It's already kind of reeling from the light. And as she walks beside the next one, it's almost just not even looking at it, just sticks her gun out and fires and blows it off the catwalk. This is John Wick shit. We were talking about it earlier. Here it is, everybody, as Shannon turns around and the way before you is clear. And the lights shine. When she turns around, the lights shine back at you, and Chris is like,
do you have Chris?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, let's go.
And he follows behind her. Kind of like, since he has essentially full memory of at least the events of their youth, like left up here, you have under that, and kind of navigates out of Grayskull.
Right. We're just going to say that you make it to the first turn, and that's where we're going to leave Shannon and Mitch, as you all have escaped the platform here. As we go back to Jerry Baker. Jerry, the Indian motorcycle is humming. And as you pull up to the house that you know is Scarlet's, you see that it's been burned to the ground. You also see that in this area, snow is falling. And you see that there are footprints on the sidewalk just in front of this house. And you see them moving. And it doesn't take a tracker or somebody who knows the land to realize that these footsteps are running towards the graveyard.
Yeah, Jerry will lose the bike and follow the tracks and just try to yell after him. Ben!
Roll me a charm.
No successes.
It takes you a few moments. Go to track number 6 and put on Wasted Years. We're going to steal Mitch's song. As you run, you're passing through the different areas of Garrett, summer, spring, days past, days yet to come, as you're moving. And Jerry, for a moment, you're kind of in between these moments that you're not even paying attention to. You're just like busting through these barriers that you've had before. You realize that you're young in one of them, and you step through and you're older in one of them. You're your age that you're supposed to be. Everything seems to be changing and morphing around Jerry Baker as he runs, but his direct path, this flight that he is on, is constant and true. And as you go up the hill to Rose Hill Cemetery, you look up and you hear Ben before you see him, and you see him screaming as he is on his knees in front of a headstone. And as you run up, you see his eyes are wild. They do not possess any rational thought. They are everywhere. And the stone in front of him reads the name of Scarlet. And the stone beside that one reads the name of Jerry Baker. And Ben is sitting there, and he's looking at both of them, wailing and screaming, and he doesn't see you at all. What do you do?
Jerry's going to rush up to him and pull him into like a forcible hug.
You run forward. Roll a move for me. At the last possible second, you stop, and whatever invisible barrier is in front of you does not harm you as you kind of rush against it, but it's almost like hitting the inside of a glass door as you realize this transparent, solid force field of some kind is preventing you from getting to Ben. And Ben is screaming. He's maybe 3-4 feet from you. You can see every indication on his face as his eyes are wild as he's looking around. And he keeps going back from the grave of Scarlet to the grave of Jerry. And he keeps looking, and he's tears pouring down his face, and he screams into the night, I am nothing. Nothing. And that's where we end our mid-season finale for Atari Midnight. Stay tuned for our next episode, episode 8. There's something about Jerry.
God damn it. God damn it. Okay. All right. We made it. Guys. We made it. You shut up, Greg. All right. Sick. Dope. Cool.
Before I forget, leadership dice. If you guys want to
yeah, shit.
Now, unfortunately, you have to be in the scene with the person. So our leadership roles of George and Jerry can only be bestowed on George and Jerry at this point, unfortunately.
For the removal of conditions?
Of conditions, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely burn 2 to just burn my condition down.
Yeah, get your conditions down.
Yeah.
Y'all might as well. Yeah, just
might as well.
Yeah, that way you guys can get to 0.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Yeah.
So George is at 0. Jerry, I assume, is at 0.
Yeah.
And then the remaining, 4 leadership dice, just they go nowhere for them? Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I happily vote to use our Maggie on Rob to bring him down 1.
Agreed.
If everyone's cool on that one.
Yeah.
So that puts our final count at Ben, George, Jerry at 0, Mitch and Shannon at 2, and Rob at 3.
That's what I have as well.
I'm only half dead now.
No, and
back to you, Mike.
and we are all out for Maggie's. Sick. So let's save us some time, guys, with our introductions. You know everyone here. You've seen them. They're not on the internet except Greg. So Greg, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
First and foremost, I get to be with this great group of people and listen to these fantastic characters and learn great things like horse presence. I mean, again, how the hell are you going to learn that? A great Thursday night to be had by all. I'm Warp Reactor over on YouTube. If you want to watch sci-fi reaction videos, join me over there. But do me a favor and be back here in the new year when we come back for the rest of Atari Midnight season and the revelations of what exactly is going on in Garrett, Maryland.
Hell freaking yeah. I believe our first day back is January 8th. January 8th, mark your calendars, 8th, 15th, 22nd. Those are our last 3 episodes in this season. And the first 3 Thursdays of that month. So check us out there. Don't follow anyone on any social media. They're not there. Follow Greg over on YouTube. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. Thank you so much all for the amazing tips, all of that stuff. But we're going to get out of here and we're going to do our after show because I think we have things to talk about here on this. If you want access to the after show, join us over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. We'll see you there. But for now, that's it from all of us. Bye.